back. Happy New Year. This is our first segment of the year, man. Yeah, man. I want to welcome y'all back here in the Mix Podcast 4. We back in the building, about to do our thing as usual. Today's Friday. Great day. Hope everybody having a good Friday out there. And if you don't know by now, I'm going to introduce myself once again, Mr. Fresh.
Judas Priest.
And right there on the
Lady
big screen, we
P.
got and our brother Jebby. He's dealing with personal things at this moment, so pray for him, keep him lifted up, and keep him lifted up. And yeah, man, we got heat for y'all.
Love you, Jimmy.
Yeah, we love you, Jab. So while we're waiting on people to get in here, ADT, what did you do for your New Year's? How was New Year's for you? How did you bring your New Year's in?
Well, I didn't really do anything. I was at home with my husband and my kids and my mom, but I had to work New Year's Day, so I didn't really do too much of anything. I actually, sadly, had to set an alarm to even wake up to bring the New Year in. So,
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah. What about you, Priest?
Oh, I didn't do nothing for New Year.
Yeah, me neither. I couldn't even stay awake. They kept trying to wake me up, and it wasn't even working.
See, I had to set an alarm.
It kind of felt like another day.
It was just anyway because the numbers was high for COVID and everything. Like you didn't want to do anything anyway. You just wanted to make it to the New Year.
Right. Yeah. I made it COVID free.
Right. So with that being said, hey, it's we still do the same thing this year. Make sure you're keeping yourself safe. Hey, I'm not telling anybody to get vaccinated or not get vaccinated, but you decide what's best for you and your family and do that. But I tell you what, people that I'm just saying, the people who got vaccinations, thank you. And the people who didn't get vaccination, thank you. If you staying away from me, don't come by me and you ain't get vaccinated. I don't want to hear that crap. I can't afford to get COVID. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm an at-risk person, so I'm very serious about this. When the people start talking about all that crazy stuff, I don't want to hear it because I believe that us not acknowledging that this stuff is real and actually going on is disrespectful to the people who have passed and have died from COVID. So we need to stop being ignorant and saying that this stuff ain't real, because if that's the case, then when you go into the hospital, somebody's shooting us in the head and taking us out the back, because people are dying from COVID. So
Yeah.
Stop saying that. So, do what you got to do. Wear your mask, wear your booster. They saying that you only need to wear the 985?
KN95.
That's what they saying that you need, because they said the fabric mask ain't doing it unless you're gonna double it up, and I can't breathe on the one, so I don't see how I'm gonna double up.
Right.
That mask.
Yeah, I can't.
So you guys, just do what you got to do to survive, man. This is not the first pandemic that we had to go through. It's sure not gonna be the last one, but we definitely are survivors. That's what we do, and that's what we have done for years. So, be safe. If that means that you can't go to the stripper club no more for a while, just hold off.
Yeah, because she might get COVID smeared on her phone. So.
And that money that she has is definitely dirty. Yes, it is scary. It is, Ebony. You're right. It's mad scary that this is out of control. And every time you look up, it's a new variant. Now they mixing now it's a mix. Mm-hmm. It's a hybrid now. It got the flu and the COVID together. So just be safe. Something, right? Because you only got one cough. You're going to get one free cough around me. After that, I'm asking you to leave.
Right.
And get away from me. And I'm giving you that dirty look over my glasses like, you okay?
I mean, that's where we at. That's where we at right now.
So we're going to be on booster number 7. Go check that funny video out too.
Guess what? I'll be on booster number 7. At least I won't be rest 6 feet under dead. Talking about stuff. I ain't getting the booster shot. And then you die next week. Oh, I bet you the booster shot sound better than death.
Look, Ev, I know you seen that video I put up in there. Wasn't it funny though?
It was funny.
It was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, you lost some people. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Losing. That's what I'm saying. I acknowledge it because don't. Yeah, because when you lose people, don't look up with
No, it's
COVID people.
it's a show called Don't. It was a something on Netflix called Don't Look Up. I think it's Netflix.
Yeah,
Oh
it's on
yeah, yeah.
Netflix. Y'all
Yeah,
watch that yet?
DeWine
Yeah.
watched it. I didn't, but
Oh yeah. I haven't watched it
we
yet.
just we have to be safe. Everybody believe what they believe. I don't even want to have the whole vaccine talk or whatever because I don't feel like the
Right,
ignorant
right. Because
people do that.
right, I'm gonna do what's good for me.
We have to do what's good for it's via why Lady T is at home right now instead of there with them because I have been exposed and I don't want to be that person, so I'm trying to be considerate and I'm at home. People don't do this. They just do whatever and they find out they got COVID and then they at the grocery store and just still living their
Yes,
life. Like you
it's
can't do that.
true.
And I don't care
Right,
if you're not having symptoms or not. You have it, stay your ass at home.
right, right. And that's right. Because you should be in the grocery stores going grocery shopping, and all I hear down aisle 4 is you coughing and sneezing and coughing. Like, why are you out? Why? Even if it's a chance you could have it, or you're not feeling good, stay at home. You're right.
Yeah.
But so let's start off with saying rest in peace to Sidney Poitier. Um, it's she was 94 years old. He lived a great life, a life in front of us on films. Always playing the role, and he always used to talk about how he decided to keep films that was true to his integrity and his respect, and he made sure that the roles he had was respectable roles, and I'm about to tell my age a little bit, but I remember being in 10th grade and watching Raising in the Sun. It was the Sidney Poitier version, not that Puff Daddy version. And I used to be like, I was like, man, that guy is such a great job at it. And for it to be old, I was like, man, he played that part. So so it's always good to to live a good life, a life. If you listen to Morning Inspiration today, I was talking about it's your own. We control our story and what people read as our story of our life. So at the end of your life, or you want people to speak well of you and say how good of a person you are. So just remember that when you treat people certain ways, when you in certain situations, when you hear about other people, just giving grace to them and being there for that person. Also, we have the three. I call them three amigos. I call the father, son, and the neighbor. All three of them were sentenced to life in prison, 25 years to life in prison, and only the neighbor had the a possibility of parole after 25 years. Well, that's just it's really good to see that justice is prevailing and going the right way. That's very important, especially now because it's 2022. We have to start seeing these signs of being better in our justice system, being better in our rights, being better. So this is really really great that the justice system actually handled this one correctly. And then finally, the Oxford parents, the Crumley, they did not get a lower bond today. So their bond, they keeping their bond exactly where it's at, which is great, and I'm really admiring the judge on this one because she's making sure everything is getting done right. She's making sure things are getting explained to everybody and to the people to listening to the trial. So I think that she's handling, we got all eyes on us to make sure that we handle this right because, those was our children that was getting attacked. And so I commend the judge for handling this correctly. And, she was like, hey, y'all got too many connections in Florida. Y'all didn't turn yourself in the right way the first time. So, no, we're not going to decrease your bond. So I shout out to the judge. And Crumley's your time is coming.
Yeah.
And so with that, our question of the day stems from a lot of talk that been on happening on Facebook. In different good groups. And if you're in the different groups on Facebook, please comment it and get involved in your groups on Facebook. So because it makes the groups better when you interact in your groups. Please do so. So I've seen this one and it kind of like made me want to bring it up. Now I'm going to tell you the question and then we'll let Lady T take it from there. So it is if a man or woman needs or wants child support for their child from the other spouse or the other parent, does that mean that they should not have full custody of the child? So think about it, let it sink in. And Tidy, when you ready, go ahead.
Okay, well, here's the thing with that, because men get so butthurt about paying child support, and some people may have the right to feel that way depending on the situation, but it's a lot of people that have a lot to say and they shouldn't be saying anything.
Right,
when you can literally count on your hand how many times you saw your kid within the last few years and you still got fingers left, you should not open your mouth to say anything about child support, period. When these things happen, when people have kids, it's all kind of different situations. You could have a kid and y'all not made or nothing, you just got pregnant and this person decided they don't want to do anything, and then you get them for child support or whatever, and they're paying that but not interacting with the kid at all. But if you a person that take care of your kid, like you're involved, and this is a 50-50 thing, then by all means, no, you shouldn't be paying child support, because if y'all splitting that down the middle, you got the kid, I got the kid, we both providing for it and all of this, then there's no reason for that. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and then you're upset because you have to pay child support, make it make sense. I mean, I know it's not Monday, but make it make sense. Like, you're not doing anything for the kids. So you think that the mother just supposed to, or the father, because it's fathers that got custody, you think that they just supposed to take on that responsibility while you do nothing? I don't get people's mentality. The Facebook post that you are speaking about, it says something on the lines of, if you have to pay your bills with child support, then you don't need custody, or something on the lines of that. Like, you don't know what the hell I do with the money. If I got a job, I might pay my bill with that, or I might do something for my kid with that. And then when I get your money, I might have to put it on the bill or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Money is money. It doesn't matter which avenue it's coming out of. It's all coming to the house. So whether I took my work check, your money, whatever, bills and shit got to be paid. So what difference do it make? Now, if I'm don't have an income and I'm depending on your money so I can pay my bills, then yes, it don't make sense for me, because I clearly can't take care of this kid if that's the case. But people the ignorance is real. Take care of your goddamn kids and get out your feelings about having to do that shit. That's how I feel.
You're right. Because, I don't know. I know, growing up, so I know that my mother used to take the child support check, and whatever she did with it, it took care of, us and the household, whatever. And, so that's what I know the child support check came. And when it came, I know my mother, then she might give us some money or whatever. But what they're missing is to support the child. If the child is living with that parent, that means that child is adding and a part of the whole entire household, which means if that mother takes the child support check and pay the bills with it, then that is supporting the child, because if she don't pay the bills, the mama and the child gonna be out in the damn street. So I don't understand what's the problem with saying that she using the child support money to pay bills, or to do things like that because it's still the support of the child.
Because a person that say something stupid like that, in their head, they think that this money supposed to be for clothes, shoes, or whatever. Like, well, damn, how many fucking clothes and shoes? Excuse me for cussing, but this type of stuff just really irritates me. But how many clothes and shoes and stuff that you think I'm gonna buy? Child, that's not what child support is for. It can be if they need that, but this is financial toward the kid. So this kid is in your household. They have to eat. They have to go to school. They have to do all the things that you have to provide for them. This is not about clothes and shoes. This is about providing.
And there's other things too. Emergent doctor bill, ER bills,
everything that you have to do for the kids.
Medication.
My thing is,
trips.
If you don't want to be in that situation, then you can get joint custody of this kid, and then you don't have to pay child support because we
joint custody means that they're doing jointly what the things, and they don't want to do that, and that's the truth of it all.
So when you sit up and then you want to decide when you want to be a parent, yeah, you should be paying child support, because why is that fair to the parent that have that kid full time and have to do everything while you do nothing? That don't make sense. My dad worked at a Ford Motor Company and he only paid $260 a month. And I used to ask my mom, why did you do more? And she told, if he wanted to give more, a judge should have had to order that. Why I have that problem with that? Because all the way down to my dad ain't okay. I can't read the whole thing; it cut off. But yeah, I mean, people. This topic is just so so touchy because it's some people get it and they understand it, and then the people that don't. The sad part is the people that don't understand it, that don't get it, is the one that don't even do anything for their kid, and then you're complaining about paying child support. So you just don't want to do nothing at all.
And you're not in the child life.
That's crazy.
And normally when somebody don't try to understand something, that means they're not trying to get it anyway. It's just something behind it. When you don't want to understand something and you know something ain't right, you just want to lean on the excuse that that's what it is. That's why I feel like that, man, I don't just take care of your kid.
That's what it boils down to.
That's all it boils down to, because I really can't speak to this topic because
take care of your kids.
And you should.
Right, and that's why I tell people all the time. Like, I even shout out my stepdad. Like, he was in the household with my mother and us. So he did, he took care of the household. I wasn't his responsibility as it being his child, but he still was able. He still took care of the household, and so I always give him respect for that, because he didn't have to take on, me, because I wasn't actually his child. So, but when it all boils down, like Emmanuel said, we need to take care of our responsibilities.
Accept your responsibility and man up, or a woman up, because women, men
right? Because men get child support too. From I know women they didn't want custody of their kids, and they didn't, and for whatever reason, your obligation should always be to take care and make sure your children are okay.
Exactly.
So kudos to those people who does do that, who does take the time out and make sure that they kid provide by any means necessary. And then sometimes that might look at a situation and say, well, no, she's really aggressive. She's going to court, or he's going to court to make sure. Because guess what? She got to do what she have to do to make sure that her and her children, or him and her children, are making it and going to make it in life, and not going to be, having to suffer because of someone else is being irresponsible or don't want to be responsible for the life that they helped bring into this world.
Exactly.
Let me ask you a question. It's along the lines of this. So how do y'all feel? What do y'all think about, let's just say, a man that has a family of his girl and 3 kids, and he has like 3 kids on the outside. So do you think it's fair for them to take money to get to the other kids? He has a whole family that he's taking care of. Is that like, so how do you feel about that? Like, saying, like, I'm pretty much saying, like, he has a whole other family that he has to take care and provide for, but yet child support is taking more of his money than what he's able to bring home to help take care of the family he's taking care of. So pretty much like, do y'all think that's right?
Well, this is the thing. Like, we all have choices. You know, everybody want to lay up and do all these things, and then when consequences come, they want to play the pity party. I'm paying child support. They taking all my money, and they said, "Well, you knew all of that was a possibility when you was out here fucking raw and getting people pregnant and all these different things." So if you don't want the responsibility of a kid, strap it up. Stop popping these babies with everybody, and then when you got to take care of them, you crying about taking care of them. It's not nobody fault that you got 6 and 7 damn kids. That was a choice that you made. So when you made
Right.
that choice, you need to be willing to take care of them. If you don't want to take care of them, then keep your fucking shit in your pants or strap it up when you go out here and do it. I don't
And
sympathize for that. I don't. Because I didn't have my share of being a single parent and doing it all by myself. So I don't pity that. I don't. I don't
so
pity it at all.
and there are things that can be done. Number one, I understand that. Okay, now you want to be you didn't hold around and did your little whole season and everything like that. And now you're trying to do the family right, start up a family, be with your family and all of that. And then now it's not like it just happened. It definitely stemmed from your behavior. So you still have to have the responsibility and still have to be responsible for your actions. So yeah, it look like it's unfair because they taking out child support and you got to still support your new family that you want to do and start. However, you still have to be responsible. It look unfair, but it's not. It's because it's still you having to deal with your consequences and your responsibility. Number one, and then number two, if we would really take our time and go through court and do set up these programs and be right, then it's not. Hey, Your Honor, I asked him to see my child more. Let me get my child more. And then guess what? They won't have to take so much child support out of you because when you request more time for you with your child, they balance that out. Oh, he's seeing his child more, so we can bring down the payment more. But because niggas don't want to be right, or the women don't want to be right, and actually go to court and do that because they really don't want their kid. It's not even about wanting the kid or not wanting the kid. They try to play that. That's the first thing they always throw in their face. Oh, I want to see my kids. They try to use that, but it's not true because nobody's stopping you from seeing your kid. Because if that was the case, you would be in court even more fighting to get your kids or the rights to see your kids. It's not a game, and this is what it is. It's being like these people playing games, and guess who the pawn? The children are the chess pieces. The children are the pawns in this, and that's who it hurt, and that's who it affect.
And the King of Pop said it best. Michael Jackson. You can't feed the baby, then don't have the baby.
Yeah, because that's what Fresh was saying. True. It's not that other family, the outside family or the in-house family. Shouldn't either one of them have to suffer because you made that choice? You understand? So you're supposed to say fuck them because you got this. So that's not how that works. That's not a real thing at all. You just adding on to what you got to take care of at that point. You don't get to subtract the previous situation because you got a new situation. That ain't how that go.
Yeah, so that means just pick up some overtime and get another job.
Or you might have to work 2 or 3 jobs. Yeah. Hey, that's what we said. Remember the conversation we said about what it is for a role of the man is provide by any means necessary. If that means 3 jobs, then you got 3 jobs to provide for your family, for your children, for your seeds. These are your seeds. These are your children. This is what your children see. This is what your children understand. Because guess what? If they see that mistreatment, they see that you treating these kids that's in your house better than you treating me, and you really don't have nothing to do with me because I'm not in your household. They see that. We make it seem like the kids don't understand or don't know what's going on. Trust and believe you do. My mother didn't stop me from seeing my father, and my mother never even really said nothing bad or a bad word about my father to make me not want to see my father anymore. It was when I went to go visit him, I didn't see him. Even when I went over to his house, spend a night with him and be there with him, I had to go to my auntie house or I had to go to my grandma's house. I still never was there with him. After that, so many times I'm like, well, what's the point of going over there? I wasn't going over there to see my dad. I ain't even seen him, so I might as well stay.
We tried to do a podcast on that previously. The kids in the household getting more than the kids outside the house, but something went wrong on that day. I think our sound was off. Something went, but that is unfortunately that is a real thing. You know, a lot of situations the kids in the house do get more than the kids that's not. You know, I mean, it's sad,
Yeah, it's
but
definitely
it's
sad.
true.
Because it's the children that hurts. And that's the thing. And then yeah, that's my biggest thing. That whatever going on between, I don't care. You know, you got these bitter dads and these bitter moms that do stuff just because they bitter, and even with that taints a child, and it taints. And you don't want to do that. You just, hey, I think that we just really forget about the children sometimes, and that's the bad part. The children stuff.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate.
Right, because the person who do wrong always feel upset. Always feel like it's something personal, because it is. Personally, they having an internal problem with what they're doing and what they ain't doing. So of course, anything that happen, they make it seem like, oh, she's just jealous and she's just trying to do this and trying to be evil to me. And it's not even that. You got to take the time to actually think that maybe he or she do need the child support, and because a child is expensive. Y'all, and you got these guys that rather spend money on a dog and they pets and they cars than give it to the woman and say, here, this for my kid.
Yeah, kids always want their dad. So they always.
Yeah.
You realize they ain't nothing but an asshole, and then you say, well, I don't want nothing to do with it.
But it even, you know, it's not even about the woman's financial situation. Because I mean, hell, she can be a lawyer for all I give a damn, and she make good money. That don't mean that he shouldn't have to take care of his kid. Like that's
right.
not,
Still pay child support.
Her work career doesn't hold any credit to the fact that you're that child parent as well. Like people mind, like I just don't be that. That's why I guess I'd be like, make it make sense, because I don't be understanding half of the stuff that people be on. You bitter and all this. No, they're not bitter. I'm bitter because I want you to take care of your kid. Like that that's not a thing. Ain't no bitterness, but you have a child that you need to be taken care of. Period. It doesn't make any sense.
It does. It doesn't, guys. We just gotta, teach responsibility, and and we do. And I think that if we take the time to say, well, how things affected us, then we'll know that, hey, this is a cycle that we keep falling into, and we got to do something to stop the cycle.
Yeah, and this generation coming up now, they fuck. No something. All the videos, all the songs, all they talking about is knocking you off and passing you on to the homie and letting you go and having kids.
Right.
It's just man. They really fuck.
You know what? We shine upon the people that we hear the stories about the shotgun weddings. You got her pregnant, so now you got to marry her and stuff like that. And we looked upon that like, hey, that's bad, but in a sense, we understood it now because we knew that they wanted to make sure that she had help, because it's not easy to raise a child by yourself. So that was the point where, you knocked her up. You may not have wanted to go this route, but because we want you to make sure you have a family in a household, we're going to need y'all to get married. And so that was what it was really about. It wasn't the point that, they didn't want you to be a sinner. They just wanted you to make sure you had some support. It is definitely better raising a kid with two parents than it is with one.
Yeah, but I just never agree with that, because like you're forcing two people to get married that probably, you know, not even
And or we can send you down south. I mean, they could send you down south and come back with a new sister.
Right, but like I know that, you know, especially back in the day, they used to do that. But it's like you're forcing people to get married that don't want to get married. Then you wonder why the relationship is toxic. Like it, you know, because like they didn't want to do it. Y'all made them do it. They don't even love each other like that.
Well, you know, in the Disney movies, you grow to love people.
Yeah, but you know what was odd, what was crazy about that? Was it really toxic? Because I believe they grew to love each other. See, nowadays, you think you like somebody and y'all get married and y'all don't even like each other. Y'all get rid of each other. But back then, you being forced to do something, and they actually stayed together and raised families together and worked out and actually died together. These are girls, so
living in two separate rooms.
Living in two separate rooms, but they was together.
They was together, but they was in two separate rooms.
Nowadays, man, these nowadays it's toxic now. I believe. I mean, it could have been considered toxic then, but was it really toxic because they stuck it out with each other and they still laid there and died? You know, stayed together.
Some of them probably really genuinely did love each other. You know, and
started off. I mean, I think you could grow to love people.
Yeah, you definitely can grow to love people.
Yeah.
You definitely could.
But yeah, I don't think that should be forced. But I mean, back in the day was a whole different time as well. Like,
and you know, women were more submissive at that time. You know, now you know, I don't want to get on.
Now, like we said yesterday, you guys can work for y'all stuff and have good jobs like the men. So you're a little less submissive, a little bit more mouthy.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
I'm just saying. It's not easier for you to say.
It's not
looks
like you're ready.
No, I'm just saying it's a lot easier
to go there.
It's a lot easier for women to say kiss their ass because they can work and make just as much as a man and do just. So back then, the man was the breadwinner, and the women didn't work. So whatever that guy said, and whatever rules he made, and whatever happened, whatever was going on. Was said. If he say he make sure the house clean and my dinner ready at 6 when I walk in and make sure there's a bath running for me, you did it because you knew he had to give you the money to pay the bills and everything else. Now
that comes up to me. That comes up as like some form of abuse, though.
It's not abuse. It was a give and take. Back then, the women took care of the household and maintained the children.
He shouldn't have, I mean, if they was doing their part, he should never have to say that. That should automatically been done.
No, not all the time. It's gonna be automatically done unless you know because some guys might be don't want their wife to do it. So that's what I'm saying. But if he asks you it to be done, it should be no problem because he's bringing home the bacon. Now, I mean, it takes a mom and a dad to run a household. Efficiently and comfortably. So now, I mean, you say, baby, I've been working 12 hours. You can't round me a bath water and cook me something to eat?
Me too.
She be like, me too.
You better order some Chinese.
Right. So you can't get mad.
You gotta take you a shower and order some Chinese.
I ain't that old fashioned that I don't see the times changing. I see my mama worked. Let me tell you something. My mama worked 2 jobs. She worked a morning job just so she could see us while we was in school because by the time we got out of school, she was already at her real job. And we wouldn't see her because she don't come home until late at night, early in the morning. So that's what I'm saying.
I mean, time is we just in a different time now.
Right.
And unfortunately, like men, and I'm not trying to, because y'all are men, so I don't want y'all to take offense, but it's men are not taking on that role like they did back in the day. Like back in the day,
it's not worthy for a woman to be submissive to that.
Yeah, like you know, back in the day, them men were providing and doing everything, and now it's like reverse.
Even when they was cheating, they was taking care of the house, both households.
Both households. Yeah. They would say, but now it's like the guys are like depending on the woman now. Like, you know, it's like a
stay-at-home dad.
And they like it.
Yeah, like
that's
it's
the scary part. They like staying at home doing nothing.
So if you got a strong-minded woman and you're doing that, yeah, she gonna be not submissive and all that, and probably calling you all kind of hoe ass and all of this because you're allowing her to feel that way. Like you have to step your game up. You're a man. Like you can't just lay up and play video games all day. That's not a real thing. Get your ass up and go get a job.
Any job. I mean, you can shovel the snow in the wintertime. You can cut the grass in the summertime. That's what I'm saying. Like it is no reason why you can't take care of your house.
None. Especially now with this pandemic, everybody hiring.
Yeah.
Right.
You can actually land your dream
Everybody.
job now.
Right. Hey, did you see that Michigan passed the law? Anybody in school can be a substitute teacher now. The janitor, the lunch aide.
I was like, wow.
Teaching is not important anymore.
You can play video games because you work, sir.
I was wondering when it was gonna pop up.
But they always throw the video game. Some guys don't even play the video game. They just lay there and watch Real Housewives of Hollywood and all of that. And with they
RuPaul drag.
Okay, don't come from RuPaul Drag Race. We know a person that watch RuPaul Drag Race, and they are 100% straight.
Oh Lord.
Lady T.
What?
He's watching.
We know he's watching, so we're not gonna say his name.
Wait, what you say?
We know the guy that's watching. He watching the show right now, so we can't say his name. They watch RuPaul Drag Race.
Oh. These days, the time a man don't have excuse. You right. You right.
No,
They watch Instagram models. They do. They watch the girls exercise on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook.
But no, but to sum all that up though, like for real, like everything, whatever. Just take care of your kids. Do what you're supposed to do. And if you're dealing with somebody and it is that situation where they are being bitter and being stupid, you can always go to the courts. Stop just sitting back and letting things be how they are. Do something about it. Go to court. Try to get your rights. Do what you can. You don't just sit back and complain and not trying to do anything to change the situation.
Right. You're right about that.
And then do some self-evaluate. Evaluate yourself. Talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time.
You say you're talking to yourself.
I talk to myself all the time.
Daddy, I look like, what?
As long as you start answering.
I say, self, you can do this. Get up. You can do this. Come on, self.
Sometimes you gotta talk to yourself like that.
Let's be great today. Let's be great today.
That's why I said, you see what I said this morning? Look in that mirror and tell yourself, encourage yourself. And say, we gonna make it. We ain't gonna be this way all the time. We gonna make it through. You got to. You do. I'm tell you what. And don't be ashamed that you did fall down and go through something, or that you was struggling. Because guess what? That struggle only makes you stronger. And it only makes you realize that, wow, I made it through this. I've been through this. I've been through that. This happened to me, and I'm still got my right mind. Like you start to think like, wow, I was stronger than what I thought. And then you get to laugh at those people that thought that you weren't gonna make it. That said you weren't gonna be here. Then you get that's how you get your that's how you get your I made it. Yeah, y'all thought I wasn't gonna make it. Y'all thought it was gonna take me out, but it didn't. And that's what you should be proud about.
Encourage yourself. Be better.
For real.
See, somebody gets me. Somebody understands me.
I give the best advice. So why wouldn't I talk to myself?
Right.
You're right. Long as people have told you before that you gave the best advice or you give good advice. If no one hasn't told you that you give the best advice yet, then try to get some advice from somebody else. I mean, if none of your friends and your family members saying that your advice has really helped them out or encouraged them or made them feel good, then Yeah,
Maybe
you
it's
might
not
need
for
to.
you.
It might not be for you to talk to yourself. You
And
might need somebody to speak into you there.
Everybody need
But
to stop lying. Everybody know they talk to themselves.
I
Anybody
know
that say
that's
they
why I
don't
look like where everybody
is a
laughing.
liar.
I know I talk
Everybody
to
does
myself.
it.
oh yeah, I talk to myself all the time. Even when I do my morning inspiration, I be talking to myself first before I even talk to anybody else. Cause
Yeah.
a lot of times I be thinking and going through the same exact thing, and I'm like, well, or I went through it all. So yes, I am very strong black woman. Can't nobody tell me nothing different, right? And that's
You
and
put
that's how
it
you
in
should be.
all caps.
And
Okay.
right, and that's how you should be though. You should definitely
should.
believe that you are. Because guess what? Sooner or later, if you keep saying it and keep believing it, then you're gonna manifest it.
Right, because when I get up in the morning, get out the shower and put my teeth in, and you know what I'm saying, be like, great,
Did he
great
just
day.
He said that.
I'm not about to play with him.
I'm done with him. I'm so done, Tiny. I'm like, what?
Great today.
Oh my God. You
Right,
stupid.
I'm with that. I tell people right. If you never heard it, go download Mary J. Blige. Good Morning, Beautiful.
Oh, I like that song. It's a really good song.
Oh my God, I love that song. It's so positive, especially for you women. Tell yourself, I'm good morning, beautiful. How you doing today, beautiful?
Right.
Good,
Yeah.
I always tell myself I love me some
we
me.
strong today. Yeah, you gotta do it. Because if you
Love me
don't
some
love
me.
you, how the hell you expect somebody else to love you?
Right.
You can't love yourself.
Were y'all Insecure fans? Did y'all watch Insecure?
No, I did not watch
Oh
Insecure.
my God. Fresh, you didn't watch
I watched
Insecure?
Wasn't
It's a
secure.
TV show.
Insecure. Oh wow. Well, anyway, Insecure, Issa Rae. It's a very good show, by the way, but it
I
just
love her.
ended. She did her last season. But anyway, she used to talk to herself in the mirror. It was like it was a thing she used to do, and it would be her in the mirror, but it's her but interacting with herself. And I say that because it's like talking to yourself, but giving you that prep or whatever it is you're going through right now. She used to do it all the time. It was a good show. I think you binge watch it. It's good.
Oh, I watch
Okay.
it. I just was waiting there. I watched the first season of it, but I was there. Insecure is really good. Actually, it was good to see positive black women and men, and just a nice, I like shows now like that shows us another aspect and sleeping around with somebody rich and famous and all of that stuff. Seeing us being famous and being successful, actual, like, because we successful in real life. So why can't we be successful on
Right.
TV? So that's why she's a great director. I love following her things her movies that she make and shows and things like that.
Yeah, he is awesome. I love her.
And it's not a knock on anybody else. I know a lot of people love everything that Tyler Perry does, but that's just one aspect of everything. And I used to have the same problem with Spike Lee because they used to try to force Spike Lee on us because he was a black director. But I'm like, I'm tired of seeing us like Crooklyn and things that Mo Better Seen in the Blues. I'm tired of those are not the only avenue that black people can be in.
Right.
So that was my whole thing about it. So this year, let's do that. Let's try to find shows and actors and writers that magnify the greatness of the black race and not just always this person inherited that from this person or this person slept with this man to get what she got. Because we beyond that now. We are entrepreneurs. We are CEOs. We are presidents. We are CFOs. We are more than what we want our children to see it. We want the women. We need to see women uplift other women positively and not a live reality show fighting and screaming at each other, sharing each other baby daddies and stuff.
What I like about it, I'm not gonna say too much just in case y'all do decide to check it out. But what I liked about it, it was so real. It was so based on real life stuff.
Right.
And I love that because a lot of these shows, it be so, they be good, but you be like, it's so unrealistic. But this thing was like real stuff that we be dealing with every day, that we be going through and stuff like that. And it was good. I love, like, I want y'all to watch it. I really do.
Right. Okay, definitely. Because you're right. Because like, and I'm not being, and I'm not right, Ebony. Tyler Perry will take you to a dark place if you don't know yourself. Right. And not even that. He sometimes the negative stuff on the dark places look very enticing. The way that he broadcasts it and the way that he presented. So yes, if you're not really secure in yourself and know who you really are, you can fall into those traps, and then you look up and you in that same predicament, in that same situation that you were just watching on TV. Because and this is why I said, if you watch Morning Inspiration, I said guard. We need to start guarding what we see and what we hear, because it penetrates in our spirit and in our hearts, and we in our minds, and we think about it and we ponder on it. Then next thing you know, you in it. And you like, well, where did that come from? Why did I even accept it? You accept it because you was watching it, and then it became acceptable to you because you saw it and you heard it and you was around it. And then next thing you know, a situation came and he say, "Oh, well, I married," and you like, well, okay, are you promised you gonna break up with her? No, he not gonna leave his wife for you, but you okay with it because the girl that you just been watching 6 episodes of it is dating a man that's not her husband.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
I know I'm gonna definitely check that out, sis. That what is it called?
Insecure.
Insecure, and it's only 30 minutes. So like, if you was to binge watch it, you can get through one season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's only 30-minute show. So
Insecure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did anybody watch the Emmett Till story yet that's going on?
No, I haven't watched it yet. We should watch
okay,
it.
so it's a series because it's like the Woman of Movement. So actually, I mean, it's about Emmett Till, but it's definitely more so about the mother of Emmett Till and her. So that's why I'm really encouraging people, because let me tell you something. I want to be truthful. It is very emotional. And it draws a lot out of it. So I would say do it on your 3-day weekend from work, because I don't want you to go to work and somebody piss you off and it cause you to lose your job, because it brings up a lot of emotion. I was sitting in the house and I was just really boo-hoo and crying because it was like really emotional. And you just think like and I was talking with somebody, and somebody made the statement that they were saying that that was a long time ago. We got to move on. But I'm like, it wasn't really a long time ago. It was only 65 years ago. This since the Emmett Till situation, 1955. That's 65 years.
I'm with Ebony. Like, it's hard for me to watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I know it's really hard. I promise. I can't wait. Let me tell you something. I know I'm emotional, and I know I cry on everything. And so I took that into consideration, but I watched it because we need to know about this stuff, and we need to have it affect us this way, because we got to understand that everything that we have and everything we've been at, even to this jury right now with this new jury and how they just found all them guys in guilty, that stems from that sacrifice back then. And so it's good to know that we are better. We getting better. We're trying to start better, but it came with a cost for us, so that we can appreciate it. So we can talk with our kids and show them to appreciate it. So we can never. You know how your parents always tell you the same story over and over again. The ward us off from doing things and not to do this. Oh, this happened when we did this, and we be like, what? They just telling us a story. But then we realized that they wasn't that, and so this is all I'm saying. If we need to keep remembering and reminding ourselves of the sacrifices that people made. It was very hurtful. And I even talked to my sister about it, and she was like, now that she has a child, that's what all she could think about is her own personal son. So we can relate to it because even now, we can relate to if our kids come home late, super late. Are they safe? Are they in trouble? Right, and I understand that because what I just tell you, I told y'all Tuesday, Rosewood get me. I can't watch Rosewood.
No.
I stopped watching Rosewood because I watched Rosewood one time and I went to work and I felt like I was just talked about so disrespectful and I almost lost my job. So I was like, nope, no Rosewood for me because it store up some emotion. So I definitely understand that. Right, especially because what was that? 2 years? What was that? A few years ago, I was at work training somebody, and she called me a nigga.
You know what?
She was white.
Called
me a nigga. Like so it's not like it's stuff that that's what I'm saying. So something I understand because we still living in that age.
Yeah, I mean I understand everybody's position about watching, but for me, I have to watch it because I look at it like it makes me better and it makes me more aware and learn me able to be able to teach and pass things on, to my kids and stuff and have them, talk to them about certain things. So it helps me open my mind up to certain, to things like, to things like that's going on right now. Like possibly that happened back then, it can happen right. That's still actually happening right now. Just that, we got it all on camera and TV now. And,
right, because it was really sad. I don't know how many people actually know about Emmett Till.
A lot of people don't know about it, and that's another thing too for me. I love history. I love that kind of stuff. I love it. Like I said, it makes me better. I mean, I look at it like, okay, wow, people are really.
What movie was that, guys? That they put that in there? Do y'all remember that? It was a horror film, but they added that Emmett Till story in there. I cannot. I'm gonna have to Google it.
Oh, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, it was. I know what you're talking about. That was.
Was it?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw it. I saw that. I know exactly what you're talking about. And then, what movie was that?
But they added that in there. Was it Tales from the Hood? No, it wasn't Tales from the Hood.
It wasn't that. It was. I know exactly what you're talking about. Lady T.
Yeah, they.
I know what you're talking about. I seen it. I seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they put that in there. They was like.
Oh, you know what it was? The movie, the TV series with what's the boy who said he got beat up by the got jumped in the guy from the TV series with Terrence Howard. What's the guy's name?
American Horror Story. I don't think it was that.
No, it's not American Horror Story. It's what's the Jason Smollett?
Jason Smollett.
His sister played in it in that TV series with the black guy that played the lead role.
Yeah, they did. They just put it in that weird black Lovecraft story.
Yeah, Lovecraft. That's what it is. It's Lovecraft. That's
they did have that in there. You're right. Yeah. Because, and that's what I'm saying. That was 65. It was still 65 years ago, and they got him because they thought that he disrespected the white woman by talking to her and looking at her.
Yeah.
That was his dad just turned 60.
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So it's not that far fetched that this is not, like people making it seem like this was hundreds, 500 years ago. No, this was just like 65 years ago. So that means that he still grew up with those rulings and those idea and not hatred. So that's why I keep telling people it's not that hatred. It still exists, yeah, because look, 65 years is not a long time for it to go away. Because some of those people are still alive, and some of the people still was able to teach their kids, which would still be our mothers and our fathers. So yeah, it's still around because it got it. Them people ain't died off yet, and the laws it didn't help that the laws said it. They thought that was right in doing that. Oh, he looked at our woman. And next thing you know, they're gonna try to touch our women. That was crazy. So I'm just saying, it's January right now. I'm telling y'all now, it's January. February is Black History Month. Please educate yourself.
We're gonna if y'all don't educate yourself, we're gonna educate y'all.
Please read and look up things and figure things out, and not to put myself on the spotlight, but Tuesday I will be going over that saying about black on black crime and where did it come from and what the history of the black on black crime and how did it even get started and how did it worked its way into the United States as being a saying and being a reference to what's going on with the black communities. It's gonna, it's real. It's gonna be real informative. A lot of information is going to be provided, and we're gonna have a nice town hall meeting about it because I'm so tired of the Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, and anybody using that as a way to get to us as black people and not knowing where it came from and what's the meaning of it. So, be prepared, be ready. I don't mind being in the hot seat. So that's what we're going to be talking about Tuesday. And, and be ready for it because we got to start tackling this thing and bringing the things to light because a lot of times we find ourselves saying things and doing and talking about things and not even knowing the history of it or why it even started or what it stems from. Because you'd be surprised a lot of things was even planted into our society and into our minds, not even from us, not even from black people. So you got to be careful. So we're going to talk about it.
And that's just a chip off the iceberg because we bringing y'all some real history, real heat next month in the Mixed Podcast. We got y'all Black History Month. Yeah, man.
But but other than that, this year, guys, look out. It's about to be some fun. We're about to go into some topics. We're about to get into some real topics, some real things that's really affecting us. And we want to see everybody grow and change too. I don't want you just to be watching our show and then we don't do anything to help you or encourage you or uplift you or even educate you, or to even see you understand or see another perspective. And it's okay to look at other people's perspective or let them tell you their perspective. Because guess what? They might point out something that you have never seen, point out something that you have never experienced, point out something that you never thought can happen. So it's okay, but we have to be able to sit down and listen as well as sit down and talk about it. And we walked away from it. It takes a village to, it takes a village to, and I understand now why that was so important to say it takes a village because everybody in the village had different perspectives. So, Tom Brady in this year's Super Bowl ain't black history. Tom Brady is not. However,
he led more black men to the promised land.
He tried to lead one to the promised land. You see how that happened?
He tried.
He took his shirt off and did.
Before we get out of here, Lady T, you got anything you want to add before we get out?
No, I just been sitting up here kind of thinking, and it just spoke to me about protecting your peace at all costs, and that will be what I will be talking about on Monday because I have to because my peace has been tested, and it means everything to me. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. Y'all protect your peace at all costs. I don't give a damn what the situation is. Your peace is everything.
Definitely.
Yeah. Other than that, I just want to, thank you all for just supporting the Intermix podcast as y'all do. Continue to do that, please. And, y'all just keep praying for our boy, Jebby, the realist. We love you, Jebby. And that's all I got to say.
Don't forget, guys, you can catch In the Mix podcast every day of the week. Monday, we start off with Lady T. Tuesday, Judas Priest. Wednesday, Jebby the Real. And Thursday, Mr. Fresh. And then Friday, you have us all together. There is not, anytime you want to, at night, you don't got anything to do, And if you do got something to do, kind of sneak down and still watch us. You know how y'all do. Or go to the bathroom at work and watch us for a couple of minutes. Give you little comments and everything. But thank you guys again. You know, we are looking forward to growing with you guys and then you guys experience in the mix. You know, we put it all in there. And we want you guys to help, you know, stir up the pot. So thank you guys.
All right. Well, first off, I want to say, Jabby, you know, we're here for you, brother. And I want to say thanks, Bianca Barber, for coming on, kicking it with me yesterday. You know, she tried to beat me in singing. You know, I let her win because she was a guest. And that rematch is coming. And yeah, man, in this podcast, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and kicking it with us. Your boy Fresh, Lady T, Judas Priest, Jeffrey Real. Love y'all. Till next week. Peace.
I gotta play this video clip.
Yeah, you gotta play this video clip. We got a video clip. Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Mr. Fresh. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Mix Podcast tonight. I hope y'all had a good time because we do our best to bring y'all the heat. So stay tuned. Tune in next week. We got y'all. More heat in Mix Podcast 4. We out.